So I talked to him and I said, hey, sorry to interrupt you guys, but I'm an American. Uh, I'm foreign, and I have many foreign friends, and I know many foreigners here, from America, from Britain, from Europe, both males and females who are, my fellow classmates. And I want you to know that the females and the males both are extremely, extremely bothered when you make those statements. And he started to laugh, as a joke, man. And he's like, "What? I'm just welcoming. I'm brahibha, which is like I'm just welcoming her to Egypt." And I was like, no, that's totally bothering her. She's just going about her business, and that's not normal. You just don't do that to people. And I said, do you know what most foreigners, and I'm serious, most of the classmates I've talked to here, do you know what they think of Egyptian guys? They think they are sleazy, they think they're perverted, and the stories, oh God, the stories I've heard, seriously, I don't know if I can repeat them again, because I don't want to make my tongue so soiled with it's just really disgusting stuff. I couldn't even imagine happening in the U.S. Maybe it does happen, and probably does, but I mean, just stuff that happens. It's really, really, really disgusting. Just really disgusting. I mean, this one was harassment with words, but there's physical stuff that happens, and it's terrible. So I was like, you got to understand that the terrible image you're giving about Egyptian guys, Egyptian shabab as they're called, like sort of young men. And I said, look at me. I said, look at me. I look Egyptian. I look Arab. And because I'm of Syrian origin, he's like, oh yeah, really? And I was like, yeah. Imagine what I have to do every time we're sitting down or we're chilling, and we have these discussions, and it just goes around, and everyone's like, Egyptian guys, they're disgusting, they're slave, they're perverted, they're nasty, they're disgusting, they have no manners, they have no respect. Obviously, because if you have a lot of these experiences, and one girl told me just a few days ago, she was saying in class, it must happen 5 times a day. 5 times a day is just normal. And it's terrible. And I said, I'm always there, and I'm like, no, Arabs are not like that, or Muslims are not like that. Please don't think that this represents us, this terrible image. And I said, you're giving that. Don't you want to give a good image of Egypt to these foreigners? And he's like, what's your name? I said, Tamam. I said, what are your names? And they said, Abdullah and Kareem. The other third had gone to pick up his order of liver. And he just stayed quiet for a little bit, so I kind of like half turned around. And he's like, hey, you know what? Hatmak. Like, you're right. Thanks for the advice. And I was like, yeah, just watch out. Just don't do it anymore, man. You're better than that. You're more respectable than that. And so they went away. And it looked like he appreciated it. And I hope to God that, it had an effect on him, and he improved because of that. He maybe saw it from a different perspective. I thought that was better than yelling at him, which I could have done, but I did not like yelling at people in general. And yeah, I just hope for the best. I just hope that it had an effect and that it improved, but it was very scary. My heart was beating quickly because it was my first experience trying to do something, and I hope there will be more of that to come, and maybe I could just advise a few people and they could talk to their friends while chilling. I didn't want to correct his welcome in Egypt to welcome to Egypt, because I thought that would be kind of like, I don't know, giving him power for his sexual harassment if he continues it. But it's very, very annoying, and I hope it changes. There is hope. One of the directors was saying, Egyptian person was saying, joking about the classes and saying Egypt will never be better than America or something. And I said, what are you talking about? I mean, anyone who reads history knows that things are never constant. Empires are constantly falling and rising and falling and rising and falling and rising. I mean, the desert land in these oases where there were these Arabs ended up being a very powerful empire, and then ended up right now being very weak. And then Europe was maybe more powerful in the Greek and Roman times, and then got more weak in the Middle Ages, and then now it's more powerful. I mean, things just go up and down and up and down. And so that's history. We never know what's going to happen, but I am optimistic that Egypt will improve, inshallah. Alright, inshallah meaning God willing. Alright, take care. Talk to you next time. Ma